Welcome back to PsychOps Sports, where we don't just talk about the game, we break down the game behind the game. Today, we're looking at a story that runs deeper than football itself. Why is Dan Orlovsky defending Kevin Stefanski so strongly? Why does Kevin avoid even saying Shedeur Sanders' name? Why is Cleveland media so quiet about what's actually going on? And could that silence, intentional or not, be part of something much bigger? Let's connect the dots. Dan Orlovsky recently said the Giants should hire Kevin Stefanski. That could be loyalty, or it could be something else, alignment. Both Dan and Kevin are represented by Creative Artists Agency, one of the most powerful networks in sports and media. When an analyst consistently defends a coach within that same representation system, it's not proof of coordination, but it can be a sign of professional protection. In this industry, loyalty and strategy often look identical. Watch Kevin Stefanski whenever Shedeur Sanders' name comes up. His tone shifts, his posture tightens, and at times he avoids saying the name entirely. That's not gossip, that's observation. In sports, body language is its own communication. Former players who still keep in touch with people inside that locker room notice it too. Whether the cause is discomfort, politics, or something else, it sends a clear signal. Former players keep repeating the same phrase, "It's all about stats now." That isn't random talk, it's code. It means players are still giving effort, but not necessarily for their coach. They're protecting their tape, their incentives, and their next contract. From the outside, the effort looks normal. Underneath, the truth might be quiet detachment. Here's where the connections start forming. Dan Orlovsky is CAA, Kevin Stefanski is CAA Sports under Jimmy Sexton. Dillon Gabriel is with WME Sports, represented by Ben Renzen. On paper, these are different agencies, but in practice, they operate within the same orbit. CAA and WME share overlapping investors, media rights partners, and executives who move between them constantly. Talent moves, producers move, coaches move. The logos change, but the network stays the same. That isn't conspiracy, that's corporate gravity. These agencies don't just represent athletes, they manage analysts, coaches, and media brands. When one client's reputation wobbles, everyone connected to them feels it. So when Dan shields Kevin and Kevin highlights Dillon, it might not be personal bias, well, it might be brand preservation. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders sits entirely outside that system. He's independent, self-branded, and not controlled by any major agency structure. And in a machine that relies on predictable narratives, an independent figure is always a disruptor. Disruption tests power. Now let's talk about the silence. Cleveland reporters keep saying they haven't heard anything about Shedeur's practices. No leaks, no whispers, no locker room details, even national insiders say nothing. That doesn't confirm suppression, but it absolutely raises questions. In the NFL, total silence is seldom random. It usually means the communication lines are being managed, not broken. It could be internal PR, it could be league optics, it could simply be timing. But silence rarely happens by accident. Some observers believe Cleveland was positioned to cool down the draft year backlash around Shedeur. That's not accusation, it's speculation. If true, reducing his spotlight may be more about optics than evaluation. The league is very skilled at narrative timing. Hold the story until the moment benefits the brand. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel is struggling. The Browns are 2-6, and yet they're still mathematically alive. A 9-8 finish could win the division. With that defense, all they need is momentum. So the real question becomes, is the hesitation around Shedeur just caution, or is there quiet fear that if he gets a real chance and succeeds, he rewrites every narrative overnight? Because in the NFL, momentum isn't just emotion, it's money. Put everything together. Overlapping agencies, quiet media coverage, coded locker room language. None of it proves a conspiracy, but it does show a structure, a system where power and perception quietly work together. Many people believe, whether true or not, that this silence might come from something more powerful. Some even whisper that the league itself could be shaping the tone around Shedeur Sanders. This isn't stated as fact, it's stated as perception. And perception alone can reshape reality. If something like that were happening, this is how it would look. Information becomes restricted, local media can't verify stories, and fans fill in the blanks with assumptions. He's not working hard. He only played for his father. He's not ready. Without facts, rhetoric becomes truth. That's the psychology of silence, when power lets perception speak for it. Whether organic or orchestrated, silence shapes belief. And that is the real game behind the game. This is Psychops Sports. We don't accuse, we analyze. In this world. Silence isn't absence, it's strategy. And if someone powerful wants to shape what we think, they don't need to shout. They only need to stop talking, subscribe, comment your thoughts, and remember, the game you watch on Sunday is only the surface.